Hello and welcome. Find a comfortable space, and if you feel at ease, allow your eyes to gently close. Let the sounds of the modern world begin to fade, replaced by the quiet hum of your own breathing. We are about to leave this time and place behind. We are about to drift away on a peaceful journey into the past. Imagine a world of stone and serenity, a world bathed in the golden light of a sun that set 2,000 years ago. We are traveling to ancient Rome, but we are not here for its emperors, its legions, or its grand dramas. We are here for its quiet moments, for the enduring echoes of a powerful city at peace. This is an invitation to take an unhurried stroll through the heart of an empire, to feel its ancient paving stones beneath your feet, and to discover the tranquility that lies hidden within its majestic grandeur. Let your mind relax, let your body be still, and join us now on this peaceful journey through time. Our journey does not begin in the bustling heart of Rome, but on its peaceful outskirts, in the soft light of early morning. The air is cool and clean, carrying the scent of damp earth and wild herbs that grow in the verges of the road. We find ourselves on a wide, straight road, one of the great arteries leading to the city. Perhaps it is the Via Appia, the Queen of Roads. Its large, dark basalt stones, the basoli, are fitted together with incredible precision, their surfaces worn to a soft, undulating smoothness by the passage of countless footsteps, hooves, and cartwheels over centuries. The road is quiet now, stretching ahead of us like a silent, grey ribbon. We can feel the solidness of the earth beneath it, a foundation built to last for eternity. Along its edges, we see the grand, silent tombs of noble families, their stone facades like sleeping houses, reminders that this road is a connection not just between places, but between the living and the memory of the dead. On either side of the road, the Roman countryside, the Campagna, unfolds in gentle waves of green and gold. The land is a patchwork of cultivated fields. We see rows of olive groves, their ancient, gnarled trunks twisting towards the sun, their silvery green leaves shimmering and rustling in the breeze. We see orderly vineyards where heavy bunches of purple grapes hang from the vines, protected by netting, waiting for the harvest. The air is alive with the gentle sounds of this landscape. We hear the buzzing of bees moving from flower to flower, and the song of a lark rising high into the morning sky. Here and there, a tall, elegant cypress tree stands like a dark green sentinel, pointing towards the heavens, its slender form a punctuation mark in the rolling panorama. The landscape is not wild, but cared for, a testament to a deep and abiding connection between the people and the land that feeds them. As we walk, the first sounds of the approaching city reach us, not as a roar, but as a distant, muffled hum carried on the still air. It's the gentle sound of a civilization awakening. We can distinguish the faint, rhythmic clang of a blacksmith's hammer from a workshop in the suburbs, a steady metallic heartbeat. We hear the lowing of cattle being driven to market, their calls soft and plaintive. These are the sounds of life, of purpose, of a day beginning. Ahead of us, rising from the landscape, we see the first glimpse of our destination, the great Aurelian walls. They are not menacing, but reassuring, a sturdy, ancient embrace of brick and stone that has protected this city for generations. We see the height of them, the regularly spaced watchtowers, the sheer scale of the undertaking, a line of defence that has become a symbol of permanence. We approach one of the city's grand gates, the Porta Asinaria, its twin brick towers standing resolute against the morning sky. The stone and brick are weathered and warm, coloured by lichen and time, telling stories of sun and rain, of peace and history. We pause before we enter, taking in the sheer size of the gateway, designed for armies, but today, a peaceful portal for our journey. As we pass through the deep shadow of the great archway, the world changes. The acoustics shift. The open sounds of the country are replaced by a brief, cool echo. The scent of the open countryside gives way to the subtle aroma of the city, the smell of wood smoke from a baker's oven, of livestock, and of the Tiger River itself, a damp, earthy smell on the breeze. We have not been thrust into chaos, but have made a gentle transition from the quiet of the country to the subtle, living pulse of ancient Rome. Our walk has truly begun. Having passed through the city gates, our path now leads us towards the very heart of Rome, the Forum Romanum. The streets are wider here, flanked by the tall, imposing apartment blocks, the insulae, their wooden shutters still closed against the morning light. Our walk remains unhurried, and as we draw nearer to the centre, these residential buildings give way to grander public structures of stone and marble. We step onto the ancient paving stones of the Via Sacra, the sacred way. Feel, in your imagination, the coolness of the stone through the soles of your sandals, worn smooth by 1,000 years of religious processions, triumphant parades, and the simple, daily footsteps of a civilization. This road is the main artery of the Forum, and walking it, we feel a connection to the countless souls who have walked it before us. The space suddenly opens up around us, and we are standing in the Forum proper. It is a vast, open piazza, a breathtaking expanse of stone and sky. In this tranquil morning light, it is a place of profound peace. Before us, majestic columns of white and rose-coloured marble rise towards the heavens, the last proud remnants of once great temples and basilicas. Our gaze is first drawn to the Temple of Saturn, its 8 surviving ionic columns standing on a high podium, a monument to enduring strength and stability. This was the state treasury of Rome, the Aerarium, where the empire's wealth was stored. We can almost feel the weight of that responsibility, the silent, powerful presence of the building, its cool, dark interior holding the fortunes of the world. To our right, we see the footprint of the vast Basilica Julia. We imagine its great central nave, an enormous, open hall surrounded by a 2-story arcade of columns. Light would have filtered down from the high clerestory windows, illuminating the polished marble floors. This was a place of law and commerce, but in its quiet moments, we can see the human touches. We look down at the steps and see the faint outlines of game boards, tabula lusoria, scratched into the marble by Romans whiling away the hours, a timeless reminder of the need for simple diversion. Its business is now concluded for the day, and its only sound is the quiet whisper of the wind moving through its imaginary echoing halls. Our eyes are drawn to the intricate details. We pause before the Arch of Titus, standing proudly at the highest point of the Via Sacra. It is crafted from brilliant white pentelic marble that seems to glow in the sun. We let our gaze trace the elaborate carvings in the deep relief panels. We see the famous scene of the triumphal procession, with soldiers carrying the spoils from the temple in Jerusalem, the great 7-branched menorah, the silver trumpets. But we don't see this as a celebration of war. We see it as a masterpiece of art, a frozen moment of history captured with incredible skill. We admire the way the sculptor created a sense of depth and movement, the way the figures seem to march out of the stone towards us. The play of light is everywhere, casting long, soft shadows that stretch across the Forum floor, changing the landscape from one moment to the next. It is a silent dialogue between the sun and the stone. From the Forum, our path continues towards an even grander structure. Dominating the skyline before us, the Flavian Amphitheatre, which history will remember as the Colosseum, looms into view. In our peaceful journey, there is no roar of the crowd, no dust of the arena. There is only the breathtaking scale of the architecture. We walk towards its base and stand in its great shadow, craning our necks to take in the endless rhythmic arches rising tier upon tier. Doric, then Ionic, then Corinthian, a perfect lesson in classical orders. We feel a sense of awe at the human ingenuity that raised it from the ground. It is a sleeping giant, its immense power held in a state of quiet repose. Our walk continues, leaving these grand public spaces behind, as we prepare to seek the more intimate sanctuaries hidden within the city. We now turn away from the monumental scale of the Forum and the Colosseum, seeking a more personal kind of peace. We step off the main thoroughfare, with its grand public buildings, and into a quiet side street. The sounds of the city become more muted here. We arrive at the unassuming entrance of a Roman domus, a private home. Its facade is simple, almost austere, giving no hint of the tranquility that lies within. Passing through the heavy wooden doorway, we leave the public world behind and enter a sanctuary of domestic calm. The first space we enter is the atrium, a large formal reception hall. The air here is immediately cooler, and the sounds of the street are gone, replaced by a profound quiet. The walls are decorated with beautiful frescoes, perhaps depicting scenes from mythology or idyllic landscapes that create an atmosphere of cultured peace. High above, a rectangular opening in the roof, the compluvium, lets in a perfect square of blue sky and a gentle column of light that illuminates the center of the room. Directly below it, a shallow marble basin set into the floor, the impluvium, catches the rainwater. Its still surface reflects the sky like a mirror, creating a serene focal point. The effect is one of perfect symmetry and peace, a space that is both inside and out, connecting the home to the heavens. Around the atrium, we see the entrances to various rooms, their doorways covered by heavy curtains that ensure privacy and quiet. We move from the formal space of the atrium through a short, shaded corridor called the tablinum, which serves as the master's study. Here, we might see scrolls neatly arranged in pigeonholes, a writing desk, and a comfortable chair. It is a space of quiet work and contemplation. Passing through it, we emerge into an even more beautiful and private area, the peristyle garden. This is the hidden heart of the home, a space meant only for the family and their closest friends. A covered colonnade, its columns painted with vibrant frescoes of birds, flowers, and charming architectural fantasies, surrounds a lush, open-air garden. The scent of blooming roses, fragrant herbs like lavender and rosemary, and the rich smell of damp earth fills the air. In the center of the garden, a small fountain bubbles away, its gentle splashing the only sound in this secluded paradise. It is a constant, soothing murmur, a liquid heartbeat for the home. The water trickles down into a small channel that irrigates the carefully planted flower beds. Our eyes wander across the details of this domestic Eden. We notice the intricate mosaics on the floor beneath the colonnade, their tiny coloured stones, or tesserae, forming a picture of fish swimming in a swirling sea, or a complex geometric pattern that mesmerizes the eye. Among the green foliage of the garden, we see beautiful, still sculptures. A marble statue of Venus, or a bronze bust of an ancestor, standing in quiet contemplation. Small, sweet-singing birds, attracted by the water and the plants, flit from branch to branch. This is a space designed for otium, for peaceful leisure, a place to read, to talk with family, to simply sit and exist, shielded from the demands of the outside world. It is the soul of Roman domestic life, a beautifully crafted bubble of serenity. As the afternoon sun begins to soften, we leave the private refuge of the villa and make our way to one of the city's great public treasures, the imperial baths. These are not merely places to get clean. They are vast, magnificent palaces dedicated to health, well-being, and calm communal leisure. As we approach a grand complex, like the Baths of Caracalla, we are struck by its sheer scale. It is a city within a city, surrounded by its own precinct wall and gardens. We enter the enormous complex, and the sounds of the city are once again left behind, replaced by the grand, echoing acoustics of the immense, vaulted chambers. The primary sound is that of water, a gentle, constant presence that murmurs from pools and fountains, its voice bouncing softly off marble walls of green, gold, and red, imported from all corners of the empire. Our ritual begins in the apoditerium, the changing room. The atmosphere is one of quiet transition. We find a small niche carved into the wall to store our clothes and belongings, leaving the dust of the street and the cares of the day behind. The air is filled with the scent of perfumed oils and clean linen. From here, we might first proceed to the palestra, the open-air exercise courtyard. Here, the sun warms our skin. We hear the soft thud of a ball being passed, the gentle grunts of men lifting stone weights, the quiet scrape of feet on sand. It is not a place of strenuous competition, but of gentle preparation, of warming the muscles before the water. Now we enter the heart of the baths. First, the tepidarium, the warm room. The warmth is gentle, seeping up from the heated floors of the unseen hypocaust system below. The air is humid but not steamy, designed to slowly raise the body's temperature. This is the social hub, where friends meet and converse in low, relaxed tones. The sound is a pleasant, unintelligible hum, the acoustics of the high, vaulted ceiling turning conversation into a soothing drone. Next, we move to the caldarium, the hot bath. The heat here is intense and immediate. The air is thick with a cleansing, gentle steam that opens the pores and relaxes the muscles to their core. We lower ourselves into a pool of very warm water, feeling the tension melt away. Light filters in from high windows, cutting through the warm haze and illuminating the intricate mosaic patterns on the floor below. Here, we might perform the ritual of the strigil, covering the skin with warm olive oil and then gently scraping it away with a curved metal tool, removing all impurities. The sound is a soft, rhythmic scraping, a deeply satisfying sound of cleansing. Finally, we move to the cool refreshment of the frigidarium. The change is a welcome shock to the system. The air here is clear and crisp. We descend the marble steps into a large, deep pool of cold, invigorating water. The plunge is breathtaking, awakening the senses, closing the pores, and leaving a feeling of profound cleanliness and renewal. The water is perfectly still, broken only by the soft ripples of our own movement. We look around and admire the sheer engineering marvel of it all. The vastness of the space, the soaring ceilings, the colourful frescoes depicting serene mythological scenes. This is a sanctuary for the body and the spirit, a place where the citizens of this mighty empire could shed the burdens of the day and find a moment of shared, tranquil peace. Feeling refreshed and renewed from the baths, our journey takes us outward again to contemplate the very lifeblood of the city, its water. We find a vantage point on one of Rome's hills, or perhaps just outside the city walls, where we can see one of the great aqueducts. We look upon the Aqua Claudia, its majestic arches stretching in a steady, powerful rhythm across the serene landscape of the Roman countryside. It is a monument not to a single event, but to a constant, enduring presence, a man-made river held aloft against the sky. The setting sun catches the warm stone of its arches, making them glow. Imagine the quiet, ceaseless journey of that water. It begins many miles away, in a distant, cool spring in the Sabine Hills, pure and untouched. Roman engineers, with incredible skill, identified this source and marked its elevation. From there, the water is guided into a covered channel, the Specus, and begins its long, gentle descent towards the city. For most of its journey, this channel runs underground, a hidden, protected stream. But when it must cross a valley, it rises up onto the magnificent arches we see before us. The engineering is a marvel of precision. The gradient must be perfectly maintained, a slight but constant slope to keep the water moving by the simple, reliable force of gravity alone. Let's listen closely. We cannot hear the water from here, but we can imagine it. A soft, constant trickling, a liquid whisper flowing through its dark, enclosed channel. It is a sound of purpose and persistence. For miles and miles, it flows in this peaceful darkness, protected from the sun and the elements, a hidden river in the sky. It is the sound of Rome's thirst being quenched, the sound of life itself being delivered. This water is the source of all the tranquility we have experienced today. It is the water that filled the refreshing pool of the frigidarium we just left. It is the water that bubbled in the garden fountain of the villa, creating its soothing music. It is the water that gushes from hundreds of public fountains, offered freely to the thirsty citizens, a constant and democratic gift. The aqueducts are a symbol of the city's connection to the natural world, a quiet, unbreakable promise that life will be sustained. We stand in awe of their timelessness, these enduring structures that carry the calm, steady pulse of nature into the very heart of civilization. The last of the sun's golden light is now fading from the sky. The deep oranges and purples of sunset give way to the soft, velvety indigo of twilight. We find ourselves on a quiet hill, perhaps the Janiculum, looking out over the rooftops of Rome as the city settles down to rest. The sounds of the day, the carts, the vendors, the distant hammering, have all faded away. A deep and gentle quiet descends, a quiet so profound you can feel it, a soft blanket settling over the 7 hills. The air grows cooler, carrying the scent of night-blooming jasmine from a nearby garden, and the faint, pleasant smell of wood smoke from hearths being lit for the evening. The gradual dimming of the daylight is replaced by the soft, warm glow of thousands of oil lamps, appearing one by one in the windows of apartments and villas like earthbound stars. Their light is gentle, flickering, creating soft-edged shadows that dance on unseen walls. It is a living light, a contrast to the steady, silver light of the moon as it begins its slow ascent. The moon washes the great monuments in a pale, ethereal glow. The marble of the temples seems to absorb the light, appearing soft and dreamlike. The Colosseum is no longer a sleeping giant, but a silent skeletal ghost, its arches filled with deep, mysterious shadow. The subtle sounds of the night begin to emerge, each one clear and distinct in the stillness. We hear the gentle whisper of a breeze through the needles of a stone pine, a sound as ancient as the city itself. We hear the rhythmic, hypnotic chirping of crickets, a peaceful chorus that fills the quiet spaces. From far away, the lonely, echoing hoot of an owl reminds us that even in this great city, nature is still present. High above, the first true stars begin to pierce the darkness, ancient and silent witnesses to the city breathing below. They are the same stars that looked down upon the founders of this city, and they will be here long after its last stone has crumbled. Our peaceful walk through ancient Rome has come to an end. We have felt the cool stone, heard the gentle fountains, and stood in the quiet of its temples and gardens. Now, as the city sleeps, it is time for our own journey to end. Let the tranquility of this ancient world stay with you. Let the sense of deep, quiet history soothe your mind. Feel your own breathing slow down, becoming as steady and peaceful as the sleeping city. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to see. There is only this quiet, this peace, And now, allow the gentle echoes of ancient Rome to guide you into your own deep, peaceful, and restorative sleep.